Are blue orbs dangerous? There are various types of orbs out there in the UFO paranormal world, from the spiritual to the alien, but some specific orbs, especially the blue orbs, apparently can actually be physically harmful. Now, this is a really interesting story. Get in here. This is Cosmic Road, where I discuss UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of future videos. There are social media links below. Please follow me on Facebook and Twitter. There's also a PayPal button below if you wanted to support the channel. And as I'm going through this, please comment below and let me know what you think. A few weeks ago, I was watching an interview with Jim Semivan when he was talking about the dangers of the blue orbs. I don't remember him going into extensive detail about that, and I had heard some of this before in some of the discussions about Skinwalker Ranch, that specifically the blue orbs were the dangerous ones. This is interesting because I do ghost hunting, and in some of our ghost hunting videos, we have orbs. And, but those seem to be more of the metaphysical, spiritual variety and less of the alien variety. And you could only see them with night vision cameras. So very different from the blue orbs, which apparently you can see with your naked eye. I had heard some of these encounters with blue orbs before. There was one encounter I heard where a blue orb had entered somebody's home and their cat was trying to play with it or interact with it, and it actually ended up giving their cat cancer and it died. Terrible. Well, in this book that I'm reading now, The Skinwalkers at the Pentagon, which is a really great book, I encourage everybody to go out and get it. It really gives the detailed history of the origins of the government's involvement at Skinwalker Ranch and their UFO programs in general, as far as, is known in the public purview. Obviously, I believe there are a lot of things hidden outside of the public purview, but as far as OSAP and E.T.s and BAS and that kind of stuff goes, this book gives a really great history of that and an evolution of those programs. It also gives some really fascinating stories of what went on at Skinwalker Ranch. Well, in the story that I'm about to share with you, there is a gentleman who is not on Skinwalker Ranch. He's in Oregon, and this is a case that the team is investigating. And, well, a blue orb encounters him and enters him and does some real bad stuff. So I'm just going to read from the book. Blue Orbs in Oregon. The following details are summarized from an on-site face-to-face interview conducted by Colin Kelleher and BAS contract physician Norbert Black, as well as from numerous follow-up telephone conversations. The incident happened to a brilliant 48-year-old biotechnologist, Ron Becker, not his real name, and his daughter as they were driving 50 miles southeast of Bend, Oregon on Highway 20 on the night of May 1st, 2005. Becker was driving a rental car to visit his brother. Since it was a long trip and he was trying to arrive at his brother's house in Bend at a reasonable hour, Becker was traveling fast, 85 miles an hour. He explained that he routinely drives at this speed when traveling long distances. Becker said the road was deserted when the incident happened. Becker's daughter was in the passenger seat with the seat back in the reclined position when she noticed 3 bright blue objects flying about 100 yards away in a nearby field. The objects were making random zigzags around each other with no apparent purpose. So like blue orbs just kind of playing in a field. As the younger Becker watched in puzzlement, the 3 bright blue orbs began moving quickly towards their car. Within seconds, 2 of the 3 small round objects flew directly through the vehicle. One passed across the dashboard in front of father and daughter before exiting the car through the window. As the younger Becker watched in horror, the second orb entered the upper left arm of the father, passed through his upper body at chest level and exited his body at the level of his bicep. The daughter had witnessed the exit of the blue orb from her father's shoulder. As the Bass scientist debriefed Becker, he remembered feeling a sense of movement as the blue orb entered his body. He knew that something bizarre was occurring. Everything seemed to become blurred and hazy. He recalled being fixated on the horrified expression on his daughter's face. After the orb exited his right upper arm, he looked up in time to see the bright blue ball moving away from his car at a distance of about 100 feet. He judged it to be about the size of a softball, clearly shaped like a sphere, with sharply defined outlines. In a follow-up interview, the younger Becker remembered that the two blue balls that entered the car were slightly different shades of blue, one darker than the other. Within minutes of the incident, while still driving quickly, Becker began to feel ill, nausea and general malaise, and very scared, too scared to stop driving. According to both occupants, something strange occurred during that time. The 45-minute segment of the trip to Bend appeared to take 3 hours. Eventually, they arrived at his brother's house, and because Ron was attending a conference in the morning, he went straight to bed. While asleep, Becker had a very unusual and vivid dream. He recalled an unusual face surrounded by light saying to him, "Okay, we are going to fix this," while a finger in front of his face applied pressure on his left shoulder. 4 hours later, he awoke feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. He then left his brother's house to attend the weekend-long biotechnology conference as scheduled, but Becker remembered feeling dizzy and at times nauseous during the meetings. Shortly after the conference ended, he noticed an intense red rash on the left side of his face. He also noticed that he was losing hair from the front side of his head. Becker became progressively unwell. Even his ankles were swelling. During this period, he reported diminishing visual acuity in his left eye as well as decreased hearing in his left ear. In the weeks following the blue orb incident, he quickly began to gain weight despite carefully watching his diet and working out once a day. Becker felt increasingly unwell. He had no energy and slept a lot. So he hired a personal trainer and began focusing on the gym. He totally eliminated sugar from his diet, but still the weight gain continued to 200 pounds. Before the incident, he weighed 155 pounds. In the 2-year period following the incident, several blood samples taken from Ron showed pronounced abnormalities in his hematological parameters. His most serious medical complaint was a diagnosis of ductal carcinoma in situ in his left chest in February 2007. Although extremely rare in men, Becker's physician was certain of the diagnosis. He underwent surgery in May 14, 2007. A biopsy of his lymph nodes indicated that the cancer had not metastasized. The story goes on talking about his cancer and him being treated successfully for cancer, but it is a very alarming incident where these blue orbs that were just frolicking in a field entered his car, passed through his body, and gave him this very rare form of cancer. So why did it target him specifically? Because of his biotechnology background, perhaps? And what did it mean when he had that strange dream, when a voice said, "We are going to fix this"? So the blue orbs, were they entities and they unintentionally interacted with him because they were intrigued by his background, perhaps? And they did not mean to give him cancer. Maybe they did something even worse that they did fix, but they did not fix whatever it was that ultimately gave him cancer. Just speculation, but something was going on there. Again, there are various types of orbs, and there are many people that have interacted with them, and many orbs seem to be of a benevolent nature. There's orbs that have healed people as opposed to giving them cancer. And a lot of them seem to be very mystical, metaphysical, types of events, they're in an alien as well. There are many accounts of orbs where beings have emerged from them, or beings, aliens, Bigfoot, whatever, have become orbs. They seem to be some sort of vehicle for beings of different types to possibly travel through dimensions. You know, I have no idea, and again, that's speculation, but that seems to be the general thrust of the evidence for those particular types of orbs. Those are not the blue orbs that seem to be the dangerous ones, however. And yet these orbs do appear to be intelligently controlled, and they were doing something, and they were involved with some entity that tried to fix whatever the damage was. So, you know, I don't know. I have no clue. If you have any thoughts on what is going on with the blue orbs, or orbs in general, please let me know in the comments below. But I thought this was a really fascinating story, and I wanted to bring it to your attention. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. That'd be super awesome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you do, please hit the bell next to the button to be notified of future videos. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Please follow me on social media. I'm trying to grow this platform. There's also a PayPal button below if you wanted to support the channel. Until next time, Cosmic Road out.